Hey guys, Jason here. Today I'm going to give you an in-depth look at my new favorite camera accessory, the Zhiyun crane from Zhiyun Tech. The crane is a handheld gimbal for small DSLR and mirrorless cameras. I personally have now used the crane with my Sony a6300 and also with a Canon T5i. As all cinematographers know, one of the secrets to cinematic looking footage is to make sure your camera is as stable as possible. Traditionally, this is possible from mounting your camera on either a tripod or using expensive camera stabilizers in order to make sure the camera is as stable as possible. Now, however, gimbals are becoming far more affordable, and the crane is no exception. Right from the unboxing, here are some of my initial thoughts and first impressions. The gimbal comes in a great case with extra batteries and everything you need. The case looks solid and something that I might personally actually use. The gimbal itself also seems really durable and the metal seems really solid. The instructions that it comes with are pretty easy to understand, but I honestly didn't need them to set the gimbal up for the first try. You just take the two pieces, screw them together, and you're good to go. Balancing the gimbal, however, is a different story. If you've never balanced a gimbal before, then you should definitely check out one of the numerous videos on YouTube about how to balance a gimbal. Most gimbals generally balance the same way. You need to adjust the knobs until the gimbal doesn't move anymore. This way the motors won't have to work extra hard in order to keep the camera stable. If it is slightly off balance, that means one of the motors will have to be working a little bit harder in order to keep your camera stable. That's not a huge issue, but will put a little bit of strain on the motors and possibly shorten the life of your gimbal. So after playing around with the gimbal for a little bit, my first impressions really are that it just works, and I really didn't find any issues whatsoever. Now, I did receive this gimbal at the perfect time this summer. I've been able to use it now on quite a few of my own projects and projects for clients, and I have to say that it is now my go-to camera accessory. I don't want to seem too excited about this, but I have used multiple gimbals in the past, and there are always certain things that have let me down. Now, one of my favorite features about the gimbal is the fact that it's toolless. I have used other gimbals before, some are toolless, some are not. And one of my biggest gripes with the ones that are not toolless is the fact that I always have to pull out an Allen wrench or some sort of screwdriver in order to balance the gimbal. Balancing the gimbal takes up quite a bit of time, and when you're on a shoot and you need to be working fast, you don't want to be fumbling around with your gimbal. So I was super stoked that the knobs worked really well and I was able to balance the gimbal in no time. Also, I did mention that this gimbal is durable and solid. Another feature that goes well with that is the fact that it's so mobile. The gimbal itself is small and fits perfectly in my bag. I don't even need a stand for it, but I can just throw it in my bag, power it on when I need to use it, and power it off and throw it to the side when I'm done with it. I don't want to go in depth on exactly how to use the gimbal. I will explain that there are 3 different modes. The first mode locks the gimbal horizontally. This allows the gimbal to pan left and right with your hand motions horizontally, but it will not move up and down. The second mode unlocks the gimbal vertically and horizontally, allowing you to pan left and right, up and down as smoothly as you would like. I probably use this feature the most because it allows me to freestyle most of my shots. However, when you use this mode, you're going to be more susceptible to shakes. You might accidentally move up and down, allowing a little bit of vertical or horizontal sway in a direction you might not want. A little bit of practice and you're going to master this mode perfectly fine. The third mode locks the gimbal vertically and horizontally. I haven't used this mode as much, but there are definitely a lot of scenarios where this comes in handy. You access these different modes by either double-clicking the joystick to enter the freestyle mode or clicking it once to enter the other modes. It's explained thoroughly in the instructions, but really isn't that hard to master. Some other features of this gimbal are the ability to screw a tripod on the bottom. The joystick is really useful and allows you to pan up and down or adjust the level calibration of the gimbal. You can also calibrate the gimbal via the app. The app is simple, nothing special, but allows you to access some certain features that are really handy. You can use the app as a remote to pan left and right. From the app, you can also calibrate the gimbal and make sure that everything is level, or you can check to see if there's a firmware update available right from the app. I've used other gimbals that are only updatable from a PC. I personally only use a MacBook computer, so that just wasn't gonna cut it for me. The fact that the Crane comes with an app that connects with your gimbal via Bluetooth makes life easier. There really isn't anything negative I can say about this gimbal, besides the fact that I might be purchasing a new camera release plate so that I don't always have to balance my gimbal for my camera. So all in all, this is one of the most affordable camera gimbals you can buy. And if you're like me and you travel a lot, or you need to throw your camera gear into a backpack for traveling on a plane or going up mountains, then you're going to want this gimbal for how durable, solid, and portable this thing is. If you have any other questions about the gimbal or any other camera equipment that I use, make sure to leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer as much as I can and put out another video like this in the future. As always, be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you guys later.